What's going on, YouTube? Um, Welcome back to another XFL team preview. Getting ready for that premiere or the season opening games on February 18th. Getting excited. Um, Thanks for following along with these previews. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if there's anything you disagree with me on with any of these teams or anything like that. We'll be talking today about the Houston Roughnecks, the unofficial champion of the XFL season in 2020. They were undefeated through 5 games. So there are a lot of different players, obviously. PJ Walker is gone. I think Sammy Gibbons was a receiver on their team. A couple other guys. They had a couple other big players. They're all gone, as far as I know. All the big ones. PJ Walker, certainly. Before I show you the roster that we'll be looking at, this isn't mine. This is from the Twitter account at XFL Analyst. Great follow, really great roster to look at, especially with training camp and all these transactions being made. Always great for XFL news. I'll link them down below, so be sure to give them a follow. All righty. Let's talk about the Houston Roughnecks. Let's first talk with their coach, Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips, former head coach of a lot of teams. You see Denver, coach the Broncos, coach the Bills, coach the Cowboys. He's been a defensive coordinator a number of other places as well. You can see he's coached guys like Reggie White, Bruce Smith, J.J. Watt, Aaron Donald, Sean Merriman as well. So pretty experienced head coach, over 500 in the regular season, 546, I believe I read, as an NFL coach. Pretty impressive. Defensive minded guy, which is not something that I've seen a ton of in this league to this point. Has been assistant coach of the year, lots of coaching experience, big time defensive guy. I think their quarterback play isn't amazing, but I think, with a defense like this, I think that, that's really helpful in this league, especially defense sometimes can move faster than offense. Sometimes it's the other way, but I think defenses sometimes, could just be more ahead of the offense. So those early weeks, maybe they could steal a couple wins with Wade Phillips. Houston's quarterback situation. I hated their quarterback room to start. Just I didn't love the talent. I think Cole McDonald sort of helps that. So Cole McDonald, 7th-round pick by the Tennessee Titans. Here's just some of his combine stuff. One of the few guys we have good combine info on. 4.58 40, 36-inch vertical. So pretty fast. He's 6'4". They have listed 6'3" at the combine. 6'3", 215. I read about 6'4", 220. You can read a scanner report. The film will also kind of tell you this. He went to University of Hawaii or Hawaii University, so very productive, but a lot of Hawaii quarterbacks have been productive and then haven't done anything in the NFL. Not can read the defense well, it seems like. And you watch that too, makes progressions. He's got some good touch on the ball. He handles pressure decently. I think a lot of it's just he doesn't have the arm talent. And he just doesn't have the arm talent. It doesn't seem like for the NFL level. I don't know what that looks like in the XFL. Sometimes arm talent's so nebulous, I think. It's hard to say, but I think that there's a lot there. I think there's a lot of talent there. I think, you put him in the right system. I think he'll be at worst. Hopefully they can make him more of a game manager at the least. But we will see on that front. Running backs, no big names that I recognized. Wide receiver also, you see not a lot of size in the wide receivers, which I don't like either. As we all know, I like having a mix of targets. Some big guys, some not as big guys. I'm noticing not any tight ends on this roster. I'm not sure why that is. But hopefully, obviously, the tight ends, hopefully they have some size there. A couple fullbacks on the roster, which is interesting as well. Offensive line, you can see not a ton of experience either that they've brought in. Couple cups of coffee some guys have had, you can see, and some spring football guys, but not as much as I would love. Defensively, the biggest name here, Chauncey Rivers. You can see Chauncey Rivers. See his pictures here. Nope. Last Chance U, season 4. Yes, I believe he was in the second or first season with East Mississippi. Very good player at Georgia. Got in some trouble, I believe, for marijuana. Ended up transferring to Southern Miss or Ole Miss. Ends up transferring Ole Miss, I believe. Mississippi State. That's where he went after East Mississippi. Had a pretty productive career. Got some cups of coffee with the Ravens, Packers. Has few NFL tackles and such. They have a couple of guys who have very little more cups of coffee, but Chauncey Rivers is definitely a big name. Secondary, you can see Kerry Vincent hasn't really played. I don't think maybe a couple. I think he has literally 2 tackles in his NFL career. So not a ton of big names in the secondary either. I'm less concerned with their defense than other teams, truthfully. They have some guys who have some age and experience. With Wade Phillips, the head coach, I think their defense will be pretty good. I don't know if he's calling plays on defense or what, but I mean, with his philosophy and his kind of leadership, I think they'll be good on defense. So I'm not even worried particularly about their defensive talent. What I am a little bit intrigued by is the kicker and punter both have no NFL, seemingly no other pro football experience, according to this roster from at XFL Analyst. Long snapper has some, but I don't really think you need that. I just would like a little bit more experience. I think this team isn't going to be super offensively. They're not the most explosive team. Doesn't mean they'll be the worst. But I think that with a team lacking this much offensive talent with a defensive coach, I would have liked to put some more resources into getting some pretty good kickers and punters. Again, maybe they'll be fine. I just would like, never mind their talent, no experience. And the fact that I didn't get a camp invite makes me a little nervous. I just would have put more resources into that. But again, this league is 4 guys to prove themselves. Maybe one of these guys is going to shine and it'll all be fine. And maybe I'll look like an idiot. So that's my review of the Houston Roughnecks. I think they're the team I'm most interested in watching in some ways. I think their quarterback, Colton McDonald, is an interesting prospect. Kind of a unique, didn't play a ton in the CFL, also I forgot to mention, in 2021, I believe. Weird that whole year's that first year of footballs and stuff. Football, I mean, and COVID and all that. Like, I don't know what to make of those. But interesting prospect. I think he could be solid. Seems like he's a good short game thrower and decent runner, so like that can work. We've seen that work. Other guys who I thought didn't have what it took made it work. They got a great experienced defensive minded head coach. Seems like they have some decent experience on that side of the ball. So again, I have to think about it, but I'd probably putting them around the 4th best team in the XFL, so a fringe playoff team if I look at it. But or one of those top 4 teams. And that's the thing too. These teams are playing all in the conference. I forgot about that till just now. Geez. But yeah, I think a middle of the road. I think they have a decent ceiling, 7-8 wins. Wouldn't shock me. They have a good defensive coach. Cole McDonald figures it out. They make some explosive plays. It wouldn't shock me if they were 4-6 or 3-7. Kind of like the Renegades were early on in 2020. Played a lot of close games, had some decent play, but just didn't quite have what it took. So I'll be looking out for them. I have to think about if I have them as a playoff team, but I would think that I will. But I'd have to look at the divisions because frankly I forgot about divisions or if they've been doing them. But yeah, I think they'll be interesting. I think that's why I'm putting them around 4th, because I think they have pretty high upside, kind of a low downside, probably somewhere in the middle is where that lands. So probably about 4th when you look at their talent. That's all on the Houston Roughnecks. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you disagree with anything I've said about the Roughnecks or anything else. And thanks for watching.